Hello, friends, and welcome to our Masters Preview. It is an episode we wait for all year long. I mean, we can't wait to talk about the Masters because it is one of the most magical weeks in all of sports. Masters weeks at Augusta National. There's something timeless about this tournament. The blooming azaleas, the echoes of past champions, and of course, that iconic green jacket waiting to be claimed. Today, we're diving into all key storylines, the contenders, course conditions. We have everything you need to know before Thursday's first tee shot. So, Fred, let's get into it. How are you today?
I'm great. The only thing we're not going to have for them is a pimento cheese sandwich, but there's
Mm,
recipes for those all over the internet, and they got to go to the Augusta National to get one for $1.50 or whatever they're charging now. They're like almost free. They almost give them away. So, Carlos, I'm fantastic. We're still getting bits of snow up here. Got snow on the ground this morning when I went out, so still a little cold. I played golf on Sunday, and yesterday we got snow and cold and wind and a little more snow last night. So it's still winter time up here in Michigan. We're not really thinking about golf just yet, but I'm really excited about the Masters, Carlos. Some news came out today. Tiger Woods is not at the Masters, of course, but he has partnered with Augusta National to build a new par three course at the renovated Augusta Municipal Golf Course, and this is going to be called the Patch. Plus, his foundation is also going to build a learning center there for area children. So big deal there going on. And Tiger is also, I know I've been seeing where he's going to be putting learning centers in like Cleveland and all a couple different cities around. So he's got a lot of stuff going on off the golf course if we don't see him playing.
yeah, we won't see him, and we'll touch on that real quick when we talk about the top storylines. But let's get right into it. I mean, I can't wait. We've been waiting a year to talk about the Masters, and it is here finally. And we got what 95 players in the field this year. This isn't a wide open major. The Masters is a course that demands excellence. The field might be big, but the list of true contenders is small, right, Fred?
Yeah, so we talk about this. They have to limit the field because there's just not enough daylight this time of year. You know, we're still limited on how much time the sun is up and how much time there is to play. And if they have any inclement weather, they need a little bit of extra time to work in some extra play on different days. So they limit the field. They try to keep it under 100, which they did this year. But really, Carlos, there's 95 guys, but you've got five amateurs, you got eight older guys, past champions that are still playing that are in their 60s that really don't have a chance. And of the 60 players or so, or 55 players that are left after that, you really only have about 20 that are real contenders that have the credentials and experience and have a real shot of winning here. So this is the easiest major to win for the top players. And we're going to talk about that more in a little bit. Plus, I wanted to mention, Carlos, there was some work done on the course this year. They had the hurricane came through, knocked down a bunch of trees. I've talked to a couple people and seen some notes on Facebook and stuff that the sight lines are a little cleaner now. You can actually see more of the golf course. A friend of mine here from Michigan posted on Facebook today that he was standing on 10T and he actually can see over into Augusta Golf Club, Augusta Country Club, Clare Golf Course, and you can never see that before. John Rahm was talking about that he may actually put the ball up over the trees on number 10 and find the fairway. Rory was talking about that he could actually see now off the tee on 10 trees. So it's going to be a little bit fairway with a little draw for him. So the course is a little different. I don't know that we'll see it on TV. If you were there, you could probably see some of these changes. They also redid the greens on 2, 4, and 6. So you want to watch for that. They're going to probably be a little bit firmer, even though they got rain on Monday. The sub-air system's been working. So those greens are probably going to be a little bit firmer. I think we saw that in the last weekend. Um, oh, by the way, the drive, chip, and putt never fails to just be a home run. I loved watching. I watched almost all of the coverage on Saturday for the Augusta National Women's Amateur. Great, great, great event. and then watched a lot of the drive, chip, and putt on Sunday morning. It's just so cool watching these kids perform at Augusta National. So, Carlos, with that, I'm gonna ask you a question. Is the Masters for you? Is the Masters more about the course and its traditions, or the players?
Well, that is a fun debate every year. Is the Masters more about the players or the course? But let's be honest. It's the course that's the contest. Augusta National is always going to be a star. It shapes the story. It will expose your weaknesses. It rewards courage, creativity, and specifically clutch putting. You have to have it. The players, well, they'll come and go, but the course, it tells the story. Still, without the right players, you don't get the fireworks. So you need the right guys to set up the drama. It's one of the few tournaments I would say in golf where the course is the biggest star. Augusta National is a character all on its own. It's deep in tradition, it's visually iconic, and brutally honest with you. So you don't fake it here. There's no way. You either have the game or Augusta will expose you. But that's what makes it so special, Fred, because only when great players meet great moments on a great course, that's when we get something unforgettable. And that's what I'm expecting this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's always the course for me. And having been there a couple times and walked the course, it's quite beautiful. It's quite wonderful. Even Rory in today in his press conference was saying that, it's probably the most beautiful golf course that they play. It might be the most beautiful golf course in the world. There's a couple others that will challenge that, but it's truly a beautiful place. It's immaculate. It's like a shrine. It's just it's unbelievable. They do a fantastic job maintaining the traditions and the care of the course and everything that's there. So yeah, that's one of the things that you look forward to every year, Carlos.
Yeah, to me, that course is like a great equalizer because it doesn't care how many Instagram followers you have, President Agenda, or how you were coming into it. It's really going to test parts of your game and, more importantly, your mind. So, sure, the players will bring the drama, but the course is going to create the stage. So, to me, that drama doesn't exist without those swirling winds at 12, those impossible pins always at 3 and 11. Or how about that Sunday back nine pressure that we have seen so many players fell into? So definitely that's what makes this course so incredible. And how about the weather? I mean, we saw a bit of a hiccup early. Monday's practice round was washed out due to rain, but the week ahead looks mostly promising. I think Thursday and Friday is going to be in the mid 70s. It's sunny, absolutely perfect. Then Saturday, that's when the little thing is going to come. It's going to be a high of 63. They expect rain, could get messy. On Sunday, it's going to be back to sun, high around 70. But hey, don't worry. Don't worry, fans. I mean, this course may play a little soft early, but remember, Augusta has that called sub-air system under the greens, which will keep the greens from getting soggy, so they'll firm up fast. So, Fred, even if Saturday gets washed out, or we get partial rounds or delays, Sunday's clear window gives us a good shot to wrap up early. So how about that?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Carlos. I've been there on days when it's so sloppy outside the ropes that you're actually walking in mud. You're sinking in like an inch or inch and a half on every step. I've seen people fall and slide down the hills. Women in white pants, okay, they slip and fall and slide down a hill, and they're just a muddy mess, and they're just petrified. But it's the sub air system works fantastic. They can dry those greens out in a heartbeat. It's a wonderful thing, and the rain Monday is not going to be a factor by the time they tee off on Thursday. Depends how much rain they get on Saturday. I was looking; it's only about a 53% chance, so it might be off and on. Maybe it'll happen at night and not be a factor during the day. Who knows? But yeah, that's just something we're going to have to watch for, Carlos. But I don't see the rain being a big factor this week, but it may rain a little bit on Saturday.
It may, it depends, like you're saying, what's going to be the time. But for Sunday, everything should be fine. It'll be an amazing closing. We're looking forward to it. So let's get right into the top storylines. And of course, we have to start with the obvious. Tiger Woods will be at Augusta, but it will be for the Fight Champions dinner. He won't be playing. As always, his absence leaves a void. I mean, we're used to. There's something about seeing Tiger on that first tee that signals the start of something magical, even when he's not been playing at his best. But this year, we'll have to wait and just hope he's back next April. So, Fred, as always, his presence or absence is always felt, no matter what.
Oh, absolutely. And he, like you say, he is there for the Champions Dinner tonight. Tomorrow is the last practice in the morning. They close the course at noon. They go over to the par three contest tomorrow afternoon. That's going to be televised on ESPN. So if you want to watch that, you can. But if you want to see him play tomorrow, you have to get out there early. Tiger, when he was playing, he was always the first guy out there. You had to be out there at like 7:30 in the morning if you're going to catch him at all, because he'd be done by 9 o'clock and out of there. But yeah, it's the traditions there, the things that go on. It's always a great thing. It's Tiger, you know, even if he would have been healthy, if his mother wouldn't have died, if he wouldn't have had his last back, walking 4 rounds at Augusta National is just, I can't imagine him doing it, Carlos. I think his days of playing are pretty much wrapped up. I don't see him. It's been tough for him to come back, and now he's getting older even yet, in late 40s, and I just don't see it. So I think we've seen pretty much the last of Tiger being a competitive factor in these tournaments.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. It's unfortunately something that it was going to come to an end sometime, but it's been so much earlier than what we expected. But now the man this year that everybody's expecting is Rory McIlroy, because the Grand Slam still eludes him. That he's already got 2 wins this year. He seems to be in a great place mentally, and is playing some of the best golf we've seen him since pre-COVID. I caught his press conference this morning, and as always, he was thoughtful. He was open. He talked about learning from 2019, where he came in hot, was playing great, leading into the majors, but he pressed too hard once he got there, and we kind of saw that. This time, man, he's changed his mindset this year. He's focused less on the outcome, more on being present. I see him freer. He's getting the game, like he's letting the game come to him. If the putter heats up, Rory absolutely has a chance to slip into that green jacket Sunday night. So, Fred, the talent has always been there. Maybe now that mindset is too. So, I truly, strongly think this could be the year.
Well, Carlos, you know me, I keep harping on his wedge game, and it's gotten much, much better. It's still not 100%. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, he's probably about an 8.5. But with his long game and his adequate putting and chipping, the short wedge shots from 150 yards in, he can get by with missing those once in a while. He hits enough good ones that the bad ones aren't killing him. He's not at least hitting him in the bunkers, and killing himself. So, and then the other key for Rory is Thursday or Friday, historically every year, he shoots himself out of it. He shoots like a 75 or something. And you harken back to Tiger and Jack and these great players. When they had a bad day, they were able to figure out how to scrape it around and still shoot around par, maybe even one under. Now, a place like Augusta, the par fives are almost par fours for these guys. Okay, so that's 4 under par right there. Let's say you only birdie 3 of them, and you pick up another birdie on one of the par threes, which that's hard to do. The par threes are really hard there. I mean, every one of them, 4 and 6 and 12
Oh,
and 16, they're really, number 4 is one of the hardest golf courses that you will ever want to see. I've stood up there on the tee and looked at that thing. Actually, if I played there, I would hit it short left of the green and chip on, because that bunker comes across there. I don't want anything to do with that big bunker, and that green is so steep. So anyhow, this is Rory's year. I really believe this is his perfect chance. He may not win, if something may happen, somebody may go on a heater and beat him out. But I really think Rory's going to be in the top 5 come on Sunday, and I think it's going to be fun to watch him. He's playing at a very high level. He won a Pebble this year. He won at the TPC Sawgrass this year. You know, and he hasn't played that much in the United States, just enough. He had a good tournament in Houston. So yeah, I think this is Rory's year to complete the Grand Slam, and I'd like to see him win a couple of majors this year and get back with the program and get back to being number one. I really think golf needs him to be number one, Carlos.
Definitely. Without the absence of Tiger, we've always talked that Rory is the guy. He just has never accepted that. But I think he seems more at peace with that type of
He
fact.
seemed very comfortable in
Yeah.
his own skin today during the.
Hmm.
I really watched that closely, and I
Yeah.
really enjoyed his comments. They were very good. He was right on point. He didn't give too much away, but he did a really good job.
Yeah. He looked like a cooler, calmer Rory.
A
You know,
mature. He looks like a
very,
mature
very
guy now.
mature. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna say it out loud. It's his Masters to lose. I mean, somebody else gonna have to win, or if he just loses, like I said, I think he has the mindset this year to actually do it. So we'll see. But the question would be, could Scotty Scheffler do it again? I mean, he's still ranked number one in the world, but he hasn't quite looked like that unstoppable force he was during his 2022 run. He's not quite at the blazing form that we saw him in that dominant stretch, but he's still one of the steadiest guys out there. That being said, his game is tailor-made for Augusta. He has elite iron play, elite tee to green. He's still arguably to me the best tee to green player in the world. He just needs the putter to behave. So Fred, if it does, he's right there at the end.
Yeah, he played a little bit better in Texas than he did in Florida. He played okay in Florida, but not really up to his standard. He just was a little bit off. You could just see the rust was there. And you know that injury he suffered over Christmas to his hand. He wasn't able to play a couple events early in the season, so he's kind of a little bit late in his progression for the year. We may see him round into form maybe next month when we get to the U.S. Open, or in June, or to the one of the other tournaments here coming up, the PGA. So we may see him the Memorial, maybe. We may see him get better as we go along, but I don't think he's quite back to form yet. But he's still the number one player in the world. He's still very good, and he could be a factor come the weekend. I just don't think this is Scotty's year, though. I really think Carlos in the off season last year, he had such a fantastic year last year. Really, the 3 years. When he wrapped up last year, that was a 3 year stretch that he had. Really, really strong golf. And I think he kind of went away from the game a little bit and took some time off. And then he had the injury on top of it. So he's just behind the curve a little bit. And I don't think he feels the pressure to win. He's got now more money than he's ever going to spend. His kids will ever spend. So I really think the pressure's off of the guy. He's still a very good player, but I don't know that we'll see him do the kind of things he did last year.
Yeah, I wouldn't count him out, but because especially because of his mindset, right? Especially that last Sunday, if he's contending and he's close, he's one of those that he's not gonna be rattled by that pressure. So, and he's competitive. So I would expect him if he's contending, he will be close. He will be close.
And as you know, Carlos, this golf course, pretty much more than any golf course, you need to have a good chipping game. And he is a really good chipper around the greens. He's got all kinds of shots. These greens have so many humps and bumps in them. You have to be in the right places, and you have to know how to work those slopes when you're chipping into them and around them and across them. So he's probably in the field, if not the best chipper, he's in the top five. And that's what you need to be in. So even if he's off a little bit, his chipping and putting could save him.
Yeah. So let's talk about some non-LIV contenders to watch because we're gonna quickly talk about the LIV after this. So let's rapid fire through a few names. Let's talk about Xander Schauffele. He's consistent, reliable, two majors last year. He's been quiet year so far. I mean, he's battling injury this year, but if he's healthy, it's always a threat. So he's dangerous. Let's see how he does. Patrick Cantlay, when his putter gets hot, he's dangerous. Augusta's a second shot and putting course, and he has all the tools for it. So he can roll the rock with anyone. Watch out. Colin Morikawa, your guy, he has that ice cold demeanor. He's a world class ball striker. He's as solid as they come, and he's always in the mix. He could surprise this week. How about Jordan Spieth? I mean, he's playing well, and he loves Augusta. It always brings out the best on him. So much success here. Still one of the smartest players in this course. Not getting much buzz, but it feels like he's knocking on the door again. How about JT? He's been quiet lately, not getting much buzz also. Are we sleeping on JT? I mean, his game fits Augusta perfectly. Feels like I feel like we're overlooking JT. He might surprise a lot of people here this week. How about one of my favorite players, Ludwig Aberg? Aberg. He was the runner-up last year. His game is built. It is built, and I'm gonna put that in bold. Built for this course. He's one of the most Augusta-ready young guys we've seen in years. He's ready to pound, and if Rory's not in his game, I expect Ludwig to take care of it. How about Victor Hovland? I mean, he just won in Texas, but his confidence still seems shaky. I don't know. Still something seems off to me. I think he's lacking confidence still in his game. I don't think he's ready to win here. Justin Rose, he's almost an old guy now, but he's a crafty vet, solid Augusta history. So don't sleep on him. He can sneak out on you. I got Adam Scott. He's a former winner, still gets it done week after week. Uh, Knows how to win here. Could be, to me, a sneaky top 10 at the end. Sahith Tigala, he's bold, electric. I mean, he's fun to watch, but maybe too reckless for now. Might be a year too early. One thing though, he won't back down from a challenge. That for sure. Hideki Matsuyama, as you all know, he's one of my favorite players. He's a former champ, knows how to win here. He always shows up in the scoreboard, and his game travels anywhere. So you got to be with him. And Keegan Bradley, wow, this is one guy that is quietly one of the best on tour last year. He's trending upward this season again. He's quietly having a strong year. Could surprise Fred. I think that's a dark horse alert there with Keegan Bradley.
You know what? I can't disagree with anything you said, Carlos. I'm just going to pick out a couple of things here. Xander Schauffele, he's riding this big confidence wave from the two major wins last year. Again, he had an injury, a rib injury that cost him a few weeks that he had to take off. He seems to be playing pretty decent, but I'm not sure he's quite back to 100% yet. But again, he's a really good chipper and a really good putter as well. So, he could maybe scrape it around for 4 days and make this a thing. Cantley, I don't know what to think of this guy. He's a heck of a player. I don't think his long game's good enough. I don't think his driving is, but I'm not sure about his iron shots. I don't know that his iron shots are good enough for Augusta National. You know how I love Collin Morikawa. I'd love to see him win a Masters, but I don't think I know his chipping is much better than it was. But I've seen him miss some this year. He's kind of reverted back and letting the pressure get to him a little bit at times. And unless he cures that chipping problem, I don't think this course is going to be receptive to him winning. Spieth, he's always a wild card, right? You just never know what Jordan's going to show up. This tournament seems to get him excited, get him going. So, he's had some success here, and he's playing pretty well again. So, JT, I agree with you 100%. I think we're overlooking him big time. Nobody's talking about him. I think I like JT this week for sure. Ludwig, oh my goodness, yeah, runner up last year, so that says it all right there. Victor, yeah, I don't think he's quite ready. Justin Rose, I think he's just a little bit past his prime yet, but he's played well here recently over the last 3 or 4 years. So Adam Scott, former winner, he knows how to play. Thigala, I think you're right on. He's just a little bit too reckless, too aggressive. You've got to, on Thursday and Friday, you've got to post a good score, but you can't be aggressive doing it. You have to just take what the golf course is giving you and plod along, take your 2 or 3 under and go home, have a nice dinner, and come back and do it again tomorrow. And Hideki's not been playing that well this year. So I don't know. It's like he's got something else on his mind when he's on the golf course. He doesn't seem to be focused to me. Keegan Bradley, I agree with you. I think if I were going to pick a dark horse, he'd probably be right at the top of the list for sure. So yeah, that's a quick of the 20 guys, what is there here? 10 or 12 guys, 10 or 12 names. The winner between Rory and Scotty Scheffler and these guys, the winner's probably going to come out of that group, Carlos.
For sure. And how about the LIV guys? We have to go there. I mean, John Ram, he's the defending champ. He's still elite. Augusta fits his game like a glove. It's just a question of how his form right now, being away from the PGA Tour, has maybe fell a little bit. Brooks Koepka, always a big game hunter. If it's a major, he's locked in. So you got to watch out for him. Cam Smith, I think his magical short game is outstanding. He has contended here before. He loves Augusta. Now, would it be enough? I don't know. Dustin Johnson won 5 years ago. Still has some firepower. I don't think he can do it. Bryson, if he can control his spin on this slick greens, he may have a shot. Patrick Reed may be the one that, he's never shied, he's never scared. So he has the mindset, and he's a former winner. So he knows how to win here and play here. Joaquin Niemann, one of my favorite players. We talked about him earlier this year. He's a rising force. He has a super talent, but I have to admit he might be a little raw for Augusta still. Maybe not quite ready. I think a year away. Maybe this year is that year that he learns. And Sergio and Charles Schwartzel, past winners, that are unlikely to contend this year. If I'm picking one of the LIV guys to watch, it's Ram, still playing elite golf regardless of the tour.
I'm gonna up you a little bit on Joaquin Niemann. I like him this week. I think he's coming in with a lot of confidence. He's won what 2 or 3 times, won 3 times on the LIV over the last 6 weeks. So he's playing at a very high level right now. His ball flight is a little bit lower, so if the greens are soft, if they're a little bit softer, that will bode well for him. So yeah, I like Joaquin this week. I really do. Bryson, it's hard to tell. He can hit it high. Can he control the distance? That's the thing. He has distance control problems sometimes, but the guy's won 2 U.S. Opens. If you can win U.S. Opens, you can win at the Masters for sure. Okay, you got game. And the guy I think to me coming out of the LIV that's a wild card, of course, Jon Rahm, but Brooks Koepka. Koepka's been right there a couple times, and he wants to win this thing. He wants to win this, and I don't count Brooks Koepka out in a major any way, shape, or form. He is right there. Okay. And he would have had it last year, except he just kind of bombed on the last day there. So, I don't count Brooks out at all. So Carlos, yeah, I'm like you. I only think only maybe 2 or 3 of these guys, LIV guys, have a chance this week. But we Dustin Johnson is, it's almost like he's gone on vacation and playing, just kind of for the fun of it and going out and having a guy's outing every once in a while. I remember many tournaments they play a year, and 14 or whatever, and just goes home and spends his money and spends time with Paulina, I guess, and the kids. I don't know, but the guy should still be winning majors and contending, and when they get together, he's not a factor anymore, Carlos.
Yeah, I think he's lost maybe that focus or the drive that he had after he went to LIV. But yeah, I don't think he'll show up anyway. We have 5 amateurs spread on the field. Always one of the most inspiring storylines, seeing who can rise to the moment. I mean, who to watch for low amateur honors. We have Jose Luis Ballester. He's a 2024 USM champ, Arizona State guy. He's close with John Ram, playing practice round with Ram and Sergio today. So he's like a John Ram protege, and we know John Ram was Phil's protege. So we know there could be something to look for there. Noah Kent was the runner-up to him in the USM. Justin Hastings is the Latin American champion from the Cayman Islands. Played for San Diego State. Evan Beck, U.S. Mid-Am champ, has won big amateur events at Seminole and the LACC. He's not here for the vibes. This guy can play. And Hiroshi Tai, he's the first player from Singapore to ever play the Masters, NCAA individual champ from Georgia Tech. So to me, I have my eyes on Beck, I think this guy can play. He's really, really good. Or Ballester for low am this week. They've got the game and the poise to be there.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Noah Kent, runner up last year at the USAM. Justin Hastings from the Cayman Islands plays at San Diego State. He was a Latin American champ. But I like Ballister and Beck. There's also Hiroshi Tai, first player representing Singapore to compete at the Masters. He won the NCAA Division One men's individual he's from Georgia Tech last year. So he's a good player. I don't, and we always watch this. I mean, we saw Hideki break out. We saw over the years we've seen a lot of guys break out as their amateur careers winding down at the Masters and going to have great careers. Evan Beck, Wake Forest guy, mid-am champ. He's got a lot of hardware on his shelves at home. So the guy can play, and he might be the guy to watch for the low am.
Yeah, definitely. Now let's talk about the old guard. All former champs, all teeing it up, but who, if anyone, has a real shot to make the cut and maybe flirt with the leaderboard? Maybe, who knows, Fern Harlanger, his final Masters, farewell legend. I mean, wow, what a run. Freddie Couples, the ultimate Augusta vibe, still magical there to watch him play. Filmmakers, and well, you can never rule him out entirely. You never know what the lefty can bring. Zach Johnson, Bubba Watson, and Mike Weir, they'll be likely just enjoying the walk there. Angel Cabrera and Jose Maria Olazabal. Hey, it's always good to see them back, but that's it. I mean, to me, Phil is the only one I could realistically see sneaking in onto the weekend leaderboard, but he needs his putter to get hot for it.
Yeah, and it's fun to see these guys. This golf course, like Bernard Langer, man, it's just way too long for him now, and especially if it's going to be a little bit softer, it'll be even more difficult. Number five, he has to hit a hybrid into that, and he's short a lot of times even with that, because that's such a long hole now. I hate to say it, but from this list of these old guys, Phil's probably the guy that has the best chance. But again, he's been over there on the LIV. We don't see him. We don't know what he's doing. He hasn't done anything exciting. And when they do tee it up in the majors and he gets to play, he's not making the cuts. So I don't see anybody from this list doing anything. Zach Johnson has played a couple times on the PGA Tour this year, and he's made a couple cuts. So that short game, that's how he won that time, knocking those wedges in there. You don't have to fly these greens. If you're a good wedge player, which he is, you can knock them close and make birdies with wedges on those par fives for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You can never rule them out anyway. So how about some dark horses and long shots? We'll give you some names you cannot ignore this week. And we'll start with my guy, Will Zalatoris. I mean, he's healthy now, and he has an incredible Augusta record. Watch out for him. You
He always
cannot,
shows up at the majors, at the big
yeah,
tournaments, hard courses. He's always there.
especially Augusta. He loves Augusta, and I am looking forward to see him. I'm gonna follow him very closely this weekend. Wyndham Clark, he's a major winner. He's a legit threat. Shane Lowry, he knows how to grind. That's what he does, and this is a grinder's course. Max Homa, he's waiting on that big major breakout. Billy Horschel, about Billy. He's a fiery player, and he's right in good form. So if you're putting together a betting card or a fantasy lineup, don't forget to sprinkle in one or two of these guys if you want.
Yeah, I think you're right. Will Zalatoris, I think he's not quite back to 100% form yet, coming back from all his injuries. He's playing pretty good, but just like the turn, I'm not sure which one it was. Maybe the Cognizant where he was in the mix, and then he hits it in the water someplace and takes a double and shoots himself out of it. So I don't think he's quite back to form just yet where he was 2 years ago, but he's still a really good player, and this could be the week that he puts it all together. Shane Lowry, I just don't think this is a good course for him. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see it. Max Homa could be the guy that of this group that could. He hasn't been playing that well this year at all, but maybe this is his week as well. Maybe he'll figure it out. And Billy Horschel, when Billy gets hot, when he gets on a roll, he's tough to beat. He's as good as anybody, Carlos.
He does. And I mean, all of those guys, any one of them could just get hot, and who knows, he may show up there at the leaderboard at the end on Sunday. But finally, we can't talk about the Masters without mentioning Jim Nantz, Fred. His 40th Masters broadcast and his Hello Friends intro is iconic. I mean, I just got chills. It's calm, elegant, familiar, amazing Jim Nantz. How about him?
Yeah, he's been the lead anchor since 1989 after Brent Musburger was fired by CBS. His lilting voice and, like you say, hello, friends, get you every time. A tradition like any other. He patented that, he copyrighted that, right? So he gets paid every time somebody uses it. So he his listeners feel they are actually listening to an old friend when they hear him speak. It's just his voice is so calm and cool. He played golf at Houston with Blaine McAllister and Freddie Couples. They're good buds. Has broadcast NCAA Final Fours and the NFL for 40 years. He's been there, done that, but we still love to hear his calm, clear voice from the Masters every year, Carlos. I want to mention too, while we're talking about that, the tournament's going to be covered on CBS, of course. It'll also be streamed on the Masters app. I think Paramount's going to have some times as well, like in the mornings. And then featured groups on Thursday and Friday. You got Jon Rahm along with Tommy Fleetwood and Wyndham Clark. You've got Colin Morikawa along with Joaquin Niemann and Minwoo Lee. We didn't talk about Minwoo Lee. He's coming off a win, and he's very long. If he can keep it in the, well, there's not much rough there, but if he can keep it in play, I don't know if his iron play is good enough to win around Augusta or not yet, but he's got some game. Then we got Scotty Scheffler, Justin Thomas, and then the USAM Jose Luis Ballester, who's the USAM champ, are playing together. And then we got Rory Ludwig and Ashke Bhatia playing together. So there's going to be some great groups. The thing to remember about the Masters is that you're only got about 20 guys or 30 guys that are really factors to win this thing. And the tournament really doesn't start until the back nine on Sunday, Carlos.
That's correct. And fans, that will do it for our Masters preview. So many storylines we brought to you, so much to look forward to. We'll be watching every swing, every bounce, every putt, and we'll be back to break it all down after the green jacket has been awarded. Enjoy every moment from the ceremonial tee shots to the final walk up that to the 18. So until then, enjoy the beauty, the drama, and the tradition of the Masters. Remember to subscribe here, give us a like, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining.